Miss Mann, you are suing your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Morrissey, for just over $4,200 for loans you gave him during the course of your relationship. You loaned him money to buy a car. He totaled that car and stopped making his payments to you. You then rented him another car to replace that, and he still owes you for that rental car. He also owes you money, according to you, for a phone bill. Now, you, Mr. Morris, you tried to pay her back for the car once you got your settlement from the car insurance, but she refused to accept it. So therefore, you're relieved of your responsibility, and you say you owe her nothing. Now, Miss Mann, why don't you tell us, how long were the two of you dating?
So we were together for 7.5 years.
And when did you break up?
February of 2024.
Were you living together during that period of time?
We were, yes.
Mr. Morrissey, during that period of time, were you working?
Yes.
Were you sharing in the bills?
Yes.
And what, if I can ask, led to the breakup?
The relationship was very toxic for many years. There was cheating on his end. There was emotional abuse on his end. It just needed to end sooner rather than later.
Mr. Morrissey, do you care to respond to that?
So that's false, actually. There wasn't cheating on my end. She was cheating pretty much the entire 7 years we were together.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Okay, so, all right, we're never going to get to the bottom of this at this time. So why don't you tell us, Mr. Morrissey, what led you to borrow money from Miss Mann for this car?
At first, I didn't have the money, so I asked her if she would be willing to let me borrow the money to purchase the vehicle. She said that's fine. I got my first vehicle, and then 2 months after that, it ended up being totaled.
Okay, what led you to loaning him the money for the car?
When he was looking for a car, he took out a loan from the bank. But because he didn't have enough credit, they didn't give him a loan big enough to cover the total cost of the car. So that's where my money came in, and I only agreed to give it to him if he had signed a notarized document saying that he would pay me back, which he agreed to, and he did sign.
Mr. Morrissey, you don't deny that you signed a notarized letter agreeing to pay her back?
No, I don't deny that.
Now, and what was the amount of the loan?
About $4,600.
So why don't you tell us what happened with your efforts to repay that loan? You started off repaying it, right?
Correct.
And you made your first payment.
No, I did not.
Something happened to the car soon after you got it, right?
Correct. 2 months after I got the first Versa, or my first car, then it got totaled.
How did it get totaled?
Another car ran a red light and hit me head on.
Filed an insurance claim?
Yes, I got an insurance claim, which then I ended up getting $4,000 back, which then I turned to her and I told her that I was willing to give her the $4,000 to pay her back for the loan. She denied. She refused to take the money. She told me to put it on the new car.
Is that true?
So he got the full amount back for the car that he had gotten. He did not make any efforts to give me back that money. He immediately used it for a new car. He didn't offer to give me the money back.
Well, I just want to look at the agreement while we're talking here. That's page 5 of the plaintiff's evidence. Mr. Morrissey, I want to ask you, this is the agreement that you acknowledge having signed. I, Nathan Morrissey, promised to pay back Brittany Mann $4,698, giving her $300 a month in 16 months.
Correct.
And you didn't do that, right?
No, I did not.
How many payments did you make?
None.
You signed a contract here
Yeah.
to pay her for a car that you drove
Correct.
that she signed the note for.
Correct.
I'm just wondering why you didn't honor your responsibility to pay her the $300 a month for 16 months. You're saying you didn't even pay for 1 month, let alone 16 months.
No.
He paid 4.5 payments for it and then stopped paying.
Oh, so you acknowledge that he did pay something. All right, that's something, but you did stop paying.
Correct.
And I want to help you out here because you do provide an answer to that question. It's not a great answer, but you do provide an answer to that question. In your answer, you say, first of all, the original contract was tied to the old car, which is no longer in existence.
Correct.
Is that the reason you stopped paying
Yes, Your Honor.
as per the agreement?
Correct.
But you understand that that's not her fault.
I know. I understand that.
That's your fault. And you're saying you actually were compensated from the insurance company for the loss of the car.
Correct.
So you did have the money to pay her.
Which I attempted to pay her.
So let's get to that. Miss Mann, he says he tried to give you the money and you said no.
That's not true.